I am back. Some more out. A bit later today. I was planning on doing something else, but it did not go to plan. So another out stream is a bit delayed though, but I'm able to stay on a bit longer, so. Because yeah, the original plan was I was going to be playing Hellblade. Yeah. And I was going to try and play that, finish it all in one giant stream, but capture card's playing up, so today. So hopefully I'll fix it for tomorrow though, because tomorrow I'm meant to be playing the game Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which are on PS5 obviously, as you can see. Actually one of two copies I got because I accidentally ordered two. Why people say look at your total before you press pay. I didn't. I paid. I had two. But let's get into this. We need X to reference because this you want the face tilted up, don't you? See if I can find. Let's see if I can find decent reference. I mean, I could look at myself to. Not really the correct angle. Cool. If it's the correct one, as long as it's close enough. From here, should have. In. Those should be here. Those. Good luck, wear cool goggles. Just get rid of them. We'll see. This is the actual direction that is actually. Because this thing's always on. On their right. On their right. There you go. Oh, slightly. That goggle should be there. Should actually be good. Oh, I can. The face just isn't. Oh, it's just. Right. Maybe I need another pass, I think. Go on. I know I'll do it in a roundabout way. Fine. I think one method I heard for doing heads is to imagine you've got like this sheet of paper that just kind of wraps around the face. Which is okay. I quite like the one done here, which is more of a box method, because it's like all the facial features should really be within this first square. It's like you can carve out like where the eyes go. It's like this. Obviously they new right thingy. Just find the center point of the black cube. That's where your ear should go. So that's why I made it forward as well. All together. Well, yes. Oh, head. Somewhat proportional head. Why I'm sorting out the eyes, because they are too far to one side. What am I actually going to do? New layer. There we go. The three methods, and obviously where it kind of falls off there, that's where get the ball sticking out. See, and this is why we flip. Harsh nose. So, if you also think about it, I'll keep that for the moment. Just duplicate this for the second. So just delete. A little bit there. I think the head's right. VR goggles. They have depth to them. Oh man, I feel a bit tired. I'm not going to be playing a game until crack of dawn. And a nap and everything. Okay. Just can't seem to get this face right. find any reference. Let's try again. I've got pretty much the right placement for everything. Towards the center. Continue down. No. Those roughly here. because of the angle. Bottom eyelid will probably appear more flat. Top looks the curve. Generally how I see it anyway. Sometimes I'll add a curve, but it's like the wrong way. So if you ever make it's more like doing the cheek curve. Wow. Yeah, it does not go there. It's like here. Let's see. There we go. Ooh. Creepy. Pressing W, not E. I'm gonna put that in actually, don't just yet. It's the nurse. I think that'll do. I think that'll do. Oof. That's pretty much, it's definitely right. I think the size. Size was all wrong. Delete that, don't need that. Delete that one, don't need it. Delete that. Delete that. Don't think I need that. Yep. Oops, wrong. Delete you. Delete you. Delete you. Deleting. What is the... Oh, I can delete these three. The original draft of this. There it is now. Yeah, I think I can just... I don't know, do I want to ink this? Or do I want to just pin it? Right, well... Good enough. Well, try and do a bit of painting. Though, I'm going to use two colours. I'm going to use this one, and I need face. For ooh. Okay. As we have one with the codes. So let's go for if I go on this, but you can't see it, well, there is a, if you go onto, so if you use the actual thing, you click on this, it'll bring up a box, and if you've got the correct code, DD C5, it will select. Yeah, now I'm not kind of happy with that. I think I'm going to go select a different one. Let's see. We have... Let's go on it again. 1C7. 1C7 AE. That's better. So these are going to be two main colours. And then what we'll do, see it. Going to use the HSV or HSL adjustment increator for the two colors. Is 12. Yeah, I suppose it'll just be this little bar down here that my head's hiding. But if I just bring that up. Oh. So in here you've got these three sliders. We got bottom one, so I can kind of. Anyway, I'm looking at messing with them three, kind of. See, though, I think I've got to be on the. No. Because I need to change three things. So color saturation and value, yeah. How light or dark it is, how much color is in it, and what color it actually is. So just seeing, because basically I want to use these two colors that I've got on screen to kind of color everything. Ish. I'll probably add more accent colors later on, but they will be made through these two colors. Is the plan. So I've got my little color thing here. So as I'm selected here, while not great, I can adjust it on this thing. So it's not as intuitive. There's a slider. Much rather a slider. It's just kind of a percentage bar. Is there a... Oh. All this. Because if there is, we're using it. Oh, we don't need channels. Here's right. Is there really an easy way? Comic Manager, Compression, Digital Color Mixer. Oh, that's fancy. Yeah. Kind of what I'm wanting. Except it's not really changing that, is it? Let's see what other things we got last time. Docs. Is this? That seems to be saturation. Don't think you guys can see this slide. So you got your top bar, which is going to be the colours. This one, which seems to dictate hue. And that one does seem to depict light and dark, though not very well, because it doesn't go all the way into dark. Like it kind of avoids it really. Seems to kind of go in a bit of a U-shape. So in theory, the darkest it will actually ever take it. Maybe not what I'm looking for. So I can do it, it just might have to be layer based. Which is not the worst thing going. HSV adjustments. Okay. So stick that on top. New. And we're gonna start with blue. That green's popping. This is fine. Yeah, the only thing that you can currently see that is not covered up because yeah, wearing a full suit. That's the jacket and one hand's still here, and also the other one's holding their gun. So if I wanted to generally I'll just go multiply. Not too sure. Might have to come back to this. Ah, hello Firewall. Didn't realise you were there. Hey, good. How are you? How long have you been there for? Have I ignored you? Been focusing. Been narrowing. Oh. Good. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just trying to figure out how to do two-tone coloring. If you weren't there for my rant of how to do it, you meant to change the values of these into other values to apply them as new values. So we'll take this blue. Good. Set up another thing so that when that pops up, you can actually see it. Window capture. Fine. See how this works. Oh, there we go. Just leaving the top corner, that's fine. So you'll just see double mouse. That's fine. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get these, just this. When I load it up, so let's see. So I want this blue. Going to get rid of this for the minutes. colouring gun. So it'll be the hue and saturation values. Everything that you can mess with will be based off of this one colour. So I'm not going to be selecting any other colour. It's just going to, yeah, I'll be sliding everything one way or the other and then making either a new colour or kind of based on this value. So alright, go back to, might need to control U. Remember control U. Oh, what have I done there? That's not good. Weird. Yeah, there we go. So it's on. Zoom to begin. Obviously I can... This is all to kind of hopefully keep all my values quite close together. So then I'm not... So then I don't have like a complete and utter mess of values everywhere. Desaturate it a bit. Back and select. And there we go. That's kind of how it's going to go. Obviously, I'm doing it very messily because I'd like to do things a bit messy. And then do clean up afterwards. And it'll be the same for when I'm adding all details. Obviously, because now I've got the colour, I can just select it as well. Don't need to worry too much. Brush. Once again. Does that happen every time I close down thingy? Because I just realised it again. I know what I need to do. I'll do it in a second. Right, okay. So, go to... Title window must match. There we go. Must match. Can't change it to anything else unless it matches. There we go. That should solve my issue. So yeah, so it's not such a thing. But learning new things. Yeah, cool. Okay, so I've got that coming up now. This darken. I want it. And once again, because I've now got this colour, I can kind of select it, put it where I need it. That's too much. Let's opacity down first. And then select my correct brush. So what's that? It appears to be working to some degree. Galleries like a gun. Good. Obviously, you need a lot more detail. That'd be what? This thing's fun. So generally, if you're trying to do metallic surfaces, the best way to do those is you will either, so if I just skip what I'm trying to do, so generally you'll want to do like edges. So edges generally are where all the light kind of, the shiniest parts are. So that can be kind of most any edge really. So as long as it's got the direction towards the light, that's generally where you want to go. And also when you've got a deep crevice, you also want to do lights on there as well. And then there's just little flecks of light as well. So that's generally how you can go about doing it. Now, you generally tend to do a lot more what was it? Drawing with pens, don't you? So yours would be essentially making sure you keep white spots if you're doing it in thingy, because obviously you can't add them back unless you're using a white pen of some kind. But yeah. So it's just look for where you want to do it. Round edges, corners. They're the kind of things that you mainly want to look for. Obviously there's the general, like I said, the general bright spots. These will be the really high spots, which will be kind of proper, kind of hits home that is shiny. What I generally do on things like this is you can also do like a light streak. No idea what the actual term would be, but this is generally what I do when I've got something black. Now obviously this is too bright, but if you just had it. Yeah. You can do a similar thing with metal as well. Again, just from my experiences when I've been trying to figure these things out, this is kind of what's worked for me. And again, you can also do your little spots. And then room lighting as well. Oh, yeah, you can show us. I'll have a look. That'll probably be easier than me guessing how you went about it and how you can fix it. Oh. I think this method is working though, because I've got a nice, lovely coloration on this. Generally, I go off a bit too much. I don't think this side's going to be overly dark. Use that darker colour a bit sparingly. Go. I want to use that colour sparingly under here. Need to press E. Have I got my Discord open? I think I have to turn it off. I didn't need that. Not wrong with that. Save this a second. This, I actually quite like this. It's pretty cool. Out of curiosity, is this metal on the pole arm out of the scythe? Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's fine. I would say stay away from white. Obviously, you've used white, and you've got this yellow. But you probably should be a bit more yellow rather than white. As for making it look shinier, I think you've done a pretty decent job. I mean, I'm just trying to think of where because obviously I'm assuming the teeth are also part of it. Yeah. Teeth metallic. I think teeth got pretty decent. But yeah, so I'd say don't go for white. And then when you really want to do like a really big pop, that's when you'll get your white in. And that might even go over some of your lines. So if you have like an off-white as your first highlight, then you can then go in with the white afterwards. You'll kind of get it to look a bit shinier because it's got something else to go off. Rather than just the basic. No, this is just a terrible rush job, but obviously you'll get the white hearing more through. Just do this. Also, not having a white background helps much better. Just adds a bit more to visibility. So. Yeah, now I will say this is technically an art style of itself, so with the using the white lines and stuff, I'm pretty sure I've seen artwork similar to this style. That's why I think it's pretty well done. It's like the only thing, like I say, it's like just try and use a bit more of an, if you want it to look more shiny, more metallic, you'll probably want to do that thing, like I said, just use an off version of the color you're already using, just to kind of separate it a bit more from that white, but when you do bring the white in, the white really does pop. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Maybe because obviously the scythe is kind of a bit more of a sticking out a bit, so generally the center fuller, whatever, it's not really fuller, is it? But fuller is the gap in it. But the center of this blade, generally you want to put some light in, and like I said, the little kind of glistening down. So if you got like a hard white, you can just kind of trickle it down into. I mean, you don't even need to, like I say, use white. You could actually just kind of have it like a really very close to white, and just have that one instead. Or say you've got like a blue light, you might want to just kind of use like blue light as kind of like the shadow instead, the highlight, sorry. Yeah, but it depends on, because obviously the light seems to be hitting from up top, so you want everything to kind of stay up top. So this bottom bit probably won't get hit much, but if it's just coming from the back of it, then technically you'd also get a bit of rim lighting down at the bottom as well. But yeah, like I said, let's just delete that again. Yes, but as it stands as it is, I don't see anything really wrong with this. I mean, even if you did keep the white lines, like I said, just add another one into the center maybe, and still add in that little shade kind of trickling down into the thingy. Now, just gonna have a look because you might, yeah. So you could probably get away with having a few bright spots on it as well. And obviously, if these are little dents, you could probably have like a little white next to one or two of these as well, just to signify that, oh yeah, these are deep holes, and there's like a little shine to them as well. But yeah, probably wouldn't have gone as heavy on this nose, I'll be honest. But again, same with the face and obviously the spearhead. Spearhead. I think the spearhead probably is a bit lacking. What were you writing before? So you can use the blur tool. I think more for this one. I don't think you need to use. Because what program is it that you're using? Huh. I don't think I've heard of that one. I'll be honest. Like I said, I use actually, I use Career. Yeah, you can use the blend tool, blurring tool. It's a good tool to use. Generally, you'll get like a soft brush or a smudge tool. These two are generally probably a bit better because you get a bit more control than the blur tool. So if you just have a look in like all the brushes they've got, they'll probably have one, which do I have a, which should just be like very soft, and then you can just. You said you were using a mouse as well, so that will obviously affect it a bit because obviously pen pressure is generally used for some of it. What I'd say is if you're using your mouse, so I'll use my mouse for a minute. If you are using a mouse, try and find see if you've got like a soft brush or something, and so the opacity like down to like 25-ish. And then you can just get a soft blending through there. So obviously your softest part's going to be the first stroke, and then you build up everything else after that. But yeah, but is it gonna let me? Or is it just let me zoom? Go. There. Right. I'll use a mouse in forever. But yeah, like I say, if you've got like opacity, you can take opacity down. As long as you don't let go, it's going to keep the opacity. It's not going to add. Oh, I don't know about the software you're using, but you just do it until it all blends in together. Redesign. What is this redesign for? Looks pretty good. What? Ah. Yeah, I did read through it, but what do you think of the design? The design of this scythe, I actually quite like it. Quite nice. I like the staff, the wolf's head. I like these little chips that you've added to it. You've note for the eye. I'm assuming the eye's a gem. You probably won't want to blur that. And gems can generally be quite bright. So you could add generally a bit to one side more than the other. Still working on how to do those. But the same rules generally apply to most things that are shining. But it's just like yeah, fair enough. But okay, yeah, okay, I get what you're on about now. Once I read, I can read, I'm telling you. But no, the overall design's pretty good. I quite like the design. The wolf's head's pretty good. One thing I would say is I would have had it so then the back. So if I just use some of these, can I be artsy right now? Probably not. So maybe take the star when it selects what I want it to. And just I would probably add it a bit further over this way. And so then the wolf's head's kind of poking out the back of it rather than impaling it part way through. But let's not do that. Definitely don't do that. All that. Don't mind me, I'm just faffing. Kind of better. But yeah, I kind of have it more towards the back of the head rather than thingy. Yeah. Technically, the wolf head as well, if you wanted to, could actually act as a bit of a hammer. So it could be like a heavy weight towards the back of it, but yeah, I think the other thing that I've just thought of is that they could do with the wolf's head, if you didn't want it to be used for anything, angle it a bit further down. Bit maybe as well. Something like that, maybe. I pretend I know what I'm on about. Whether I'm actually giving advice, I'm still questioning myself. But yeah. Overall, the original design that you've obviously shown, which is somewhere, pretty good. Quite like it. Only thing would be is the staff. All just needs moving forward a bit more, I think. Oh yeah. And obviously using the white. Just think with this style that you've shown, just go for it. Yeah, I don't think the blending is needed as much. Yeah. You definitely did a decent job. Definitely. Didn't have technique. I don't know what you're on about. I think you definitely had some. You had an idea of what you were going for, and you were trying it out. And you did something good. And 90% of what I can gather is that all artists who do digital art mess around with the brushes. I have went on like Critter or the GIMP or Photoshop or whatever it is I've used before. I found some weird brush and I've just tried to make something out of the weird brush. I tried to draw with it, color with it, do whatever. And it's a good workout, because then you know what that brush can do. And you might go, that brush is no good to me, I can't use that brush, don't know. You don't know how to use it within what you need to, what you're trying to do. But you may find a brush that you go, oh my god, this brush is awesome. So keep messing around with brushes. It's great. I don't see anything wrong with the wolf. And like I said, I've seen art styles like this before. And it's a nice art style. I'm not sure what it's called because I don't have a clue what any art style is called, but it's a stylized art style and I think it looks really nice. Yeah, there is always, and there's always is something, it just needs something to be done with. The wolf from the image you sent me? Oh, okay. I'm never really on Discord all the time, let's have a look. Do inform me when you send a new image, because it's not pinging. Yeah, so just... Let me just paste some of these in. So I'm just going to copy these two in. Because I've got something to say about one. So saving that one for a second. So this one here, this image that you sent here, this is kind of explaining what I was on about. Because if you have a look over at the thing, they've actually got it at the back of the head rather than over here. So I'm assuming it's more of a balance thing than anything else. Obviously, weightedness. Don't want to be too weird on one side than the other. But yeah, that's a good reference image to use. And then you've shown this doggo here. Do like this, and I do like this staff. These are some very nice drawings, I will definitely say. Now, I will slightly agree. Open the mouth and the head so you can use its teeth in combat. Well, I was thinking that you could use it more of a hammer if you wanted to use the back part of it. But if you're not, it'd just be an ornamental bit for it. I don't think you need. Yeah. But as for the doggo, I think you just got the coloring slightly wrong. And obviously, I think if you just... You've kind of... Well, stop it. Stop it. Not paying attention to me. Because obviously you've got this head over here, so you can draw a decent head. But you just needed something to kind of, as you said, get it done. Is it going to be like the final one that you use? Maybe, maybe not. But at least you've got some reference. You've got some idea. You've doodled it down. You know what you're looking at. The only thing I've got that I see as a big issue is the way that you've coloured it in. Because for some reason you've went white here and then grey underneath, and then you probably have wanted to just keep the grey going all the way along the top. Part of the leg. I don't know. Just have a look, picture some wolves. See how their fur's coloured. Try and think of the easiest way to colour fur. Now, fur is one thing I am not great at doing. So, but well, yeah, just Try and keep it the same. This is me just being a bit pedantic. Yeah. That little soul guy I really like. Like I said, the weapons designs are all really nice. I really like all the weapon designs. And to be fair, you've kind of got some decent colouring going on this one. You use a texture on this, maybe? Don't know. Looks like there's a bit of a texture on that. I do like your soul guy. Soul guy's look cool. Colouring wise, I don't think there's any fault with it. I don't know what else you'd want to do with it. I mean, other than maybe putting more highlights in, but I feel that's unnecessary. Yeah, no. Perfectly valid. What? Did you just place it on, or did you like turn it down, or did you do anything with it other than just prop it and stick it on? And that's the only other thing that I'd want to know about that texture. Yeah. Okay. Use a saturation. Generally, if I use one, I would do an overlay. So I'd get the color I'm going to use for it, or want it to be, and then I'd kind of not necessarily use an overlay directly, but yeah, just kind of try and do some to get a similar color, rather than mess with that. Because essentially all you're wanting that for is the texture. Overlay? I don't know, like I said, I've not used was it Fire Alpaca? I don't. Yeah. Oh, cool. So you have access to layers, right? Generally, it's an option within the layers, but unless I use it, I can't really say. YouTube tutorials, generally your best bet. YouTube tutorials. Have a look to see. Look at YouTube tutorials to see if there's any hints, tips, and tricks for the software you're using. Because that's generally where you're going to find they've got something that you're like, oh, I could do with this, and it's just like... Layers are great. But yeah, that would be my one thing that you do if you're using a piece of software. Always look for hints, tips, and tricks. There was one I found the other day Apparently you can call the commands for everything, but I've forgotten what it is already. I need to have a look again. There's always something that you don't know that you have that is very useful. But what time are we on? Yeah. Half past 12 now. One times. Good times. Yes. Yeah, can't say much else. What colour do you feel is better with the brass wool? Blue's pretty decent. Blue seems to work. Have a look, I would say, at images of brass ornaments. So, because especially brass inlaid with gems, or some form of like stone, wood, anything you can find, because obviously people have already found these out. Wools have been around for ages. Brass has been around for God knows how long now. And people kind of know what kind of goes with brass. So just literally doing a quick Google search, you get like brass globes, brass with green, red. So you know, there's some with like white. Again, red. Red's apparently very popular with brass. Green. I think any form of bright color generally goes with brass. But like I said, the three that I've seen are green, blue, and red. Generally quite a bit of red. Red seems to be one of the more popular ones, along with green. And don't know, it's hard to say which one's more popular, but yeah, those three colours generally won't go wrong by the looks of it. Right. Anyway. I think. No, it's not art tricks. It's utilities that I'd say you need to look up at. Because I will generally see someone do something on theirs, and I'll try and imitate that. But if I don't know how the tools try and replicate that, then I kind of fall flat sometimes. So learn the tools and then play around with things, figure things out. Look at YouTube videos for hints and tips on, was it Fire Alpaca? Find out what works for you. and then learn the figure out skills, I think. For which one? Maybe for your doggo, but the other 3, 4, got use also. I think the general line art looks pretty fine. Line art's always one of those where it can make or break it. And yeah, one thing you should probably do, or try and do, I know you said you were using a mouse, so this is going to be kind of tricky, is line weight. Line weight is generally how you're going to improve it. So it's generally on corners and edges, so you kind of want to have, so obviously this is coloured in, so it's going to be a bit trickier. So if just get rid of that bit there, just for this demonstration. So if you want it a bit better, then try and taper some a bit, and then you want to get like really thick for like certain edges. So where those edges will be will vary. But generally, good rule of thumb is when it intersects with another line. So if you've got like somewhere where it's like more than one crossing, so to say like down here, so you might want to have it where it's nice and thin on one side, but then you get like really thick right where it connects. Good rule of thumb for line art. So yeah, it's just one of the things that I randomly picked up as well. Like I said, it's like looking at other people do art is great. People have already figured these things out. Not much to figure out, only to learn, understand, and do. And figure out what you like. But, yeah. So, thick and thin. That's one way to improve line art. And I'd also say with when you're doing your bright lights as well, your bright actually just like going over. So like if you didn't have like the white background, then you had an actual background to it, you could probably use the white to just kind of go over it of your line art, so it kind of breaks it up, but obviously you can see that he's kind of brings a bit more shininess to it. So one thing I would suggest when you're doing more things like this is using, I think I told you about it before, the it's kind of like a, just put a random shape at the back of it and fill it with a random color, just so then it kind of breaks it away from that background. allows it to kind of pop a bit more. This is one trick that I use, especially if I'm being lazy. I want to just and can't be bothered doing a proper background. Yeah, it's great at doing the shape method. Yeah, I'm just let's it pop a bit more. I can't stand a pure white background. I find that it generally is more irritating when you're trying to do when you are trying to do white. It's very aggressive. So I would generally try and go for a bit more of a paler background. It's gonna work. There we go. It's not overlay I wanted. Lighten. Here's one of these that I want. No. Vision? No. Color dodge? Definitely not. Yeah, that one works. Yeah. Just kind of take them off and just come up a bit more. I'm not sure what you mean. Emotional / art book look that white backgrounds provide. Are you on about? I don't have any of my art books around. I can't pull one out of thin air. But yeah, about when they do kind of like character poses and. Oh, okay, he posted something else. Cool. Bum. That's a nice image. So, obviously, the reason these stand out a lot more is because they aren't using white for the actual characters. Whilst the background is white, the characters themselves do not have white in them. And if they do, it is very little. And the black outlines kind of make sure that there is no way that you can do it. So, I mean, this isn't actually even a black outline, I don't think. I think this is just a darker shade of like whatever colour they were using. So it looks like they're staying away from black for the wings. So then that gives us that look of that brightness. Because obviously if you add black all the way across it, then obviously you're going to... because obviously they've used black in like a lot of different places or very close. But if they kind of went very aggressive on it, and actually used a darker colour, it would have separated it, but it would have brought about a very different feel to this piece. So So yeah. So yeah, so you gotta be careful. So this comes back to when I was saying before about using a off-white. Because if I took that, that's clearly not white. Well, to me it's not. You never know, someone else might go, so I can't tell. But that bit isn't white, it's off-white. It's in the yellow range. So that's generally how they get away with doing this with that white background, because the characters themselves do not use white. Yeah. Pose is good. Let's have a look. Coloring's good. The detail is great. I like the detail, like around this bit. And I think this is probably the closest I can see. That's. But again, I could be wrong. Yeah. See? Not white. It looks white. But when you color select it, it's not. Keep going back to that white argument. Yeah, they're more like creams. But this pose, this is just like a standard humanoid pose. I'll say that much. Yeah. If I don't stop using white, yeah. So you just got your kind of classic humanoid shape. Very well done. So, if you like this and you want to do a pose like this, you'll have to study people. Or just trace a boatload of poses like I generally do. I'll figure it out eventually. Because it is. But yeah, no. His design's good. I do like this pristine thing. Like I say. Obviously, just removed all the white coloring, but even like this, it's still very readable. Not what I was wanting, but oh well. Just faffing now. Faffing. So, yeah. I think this is a very doable art style. You just need to stay away from white if you want to do it. White is... So, when I was trying to get value in my head, because it generally all comes down to value, people say the two values you do not want to use is both black and white. You want to stay away, very far away from either of these two when you are doing colouring, because nothing is ever, unless it's like in a pure void or it's maybe a thin back of something, nothing is ever pure black. I mean, going back to this gun that I was doing, I haven't used black, I've used that blue, darkened the blue, and then put that as the actual line. Yeah, it's... Where's that? It helps give form. It is not in black, so it helps keep a cleaner value. Because that is the one thing that you always want to keep in mind when you're doing it, is the overall value of the image. Of which these images that you've shown me as reference, they clearly have value set correctly. Because obviously everything, whilst set close to white, because I mean, what's the value range on these things? Because if I go to my little dial over the side, not sure if you can see it, it's like all these kind of values generally tend to stay around down here, except these ones, which are like the darkest crevices, which spike all the way to the top. And they're in shadows. I think most of this, I mean, even that's dark colour. That stays down at the bottom. It is literally just the darkest colours. Ah. Interesting. I think that is... probably... They have used sword. If they haven't, very damn close. So... But yeah, stay away from black and white. Values, they're not good. What's the phrase that I keep hearing? Your darkest light will always be lighter than your lightest dark. So, say you're only using 2 values for each side. Obviously, this being the... So these are all your light colours, and these would be all your dark colours, and obviously... Get creative. So basically, for the stripes, you'd use, I don't know, if it's outside, use like a blue. So it's not quite in the dark. Yeah. And then for the white, again, you probably use blue because it's outside. So it's actually getting some blue or maybe even yellow light hitting its skin anyway. So there you go. Here's a terrible zebra. Yeah. There you go. Not used white. An off-white. I don't know if it's got a bit of hair, but I'm giving it one. And obviously, you then take that white, and because obviously it's in shade with it like that towards the blue. Yeah, there you go. Not used white. Not used white. That's white. Still looks like a zebra. It reads like a zebra. It's all about tricking people's eyes. As I keep hearing, it's all about that reflective light. So all that light that keeps coming down. So you'd actually use some yellow. There you go. You don't need white. Though, saying that, your drawings, however, that you have done, benefit from using white because they are meant to, because the style that it kind of is. I need to take that multiplier out. Here. Because obviously the style that you've kind of went for does use heavy white highlights, which is fine. It's all about finding what works for you. If the art works for you and no one else, then as long as it's fit for what you need it for and works, yeah, then it's good. Yeah, no one can say it's bad because it's not, well, that's how it's meant to be. Yeah, and just like I said with this side, just maybe use a few more bricks and whatever else you can think of to get something that you think looks good, and then come back to it again later and go, wow, that looks terrible. It's generally how it goes with that. When you say you're finished, go away, come back, have a look at it again. You might see something you want to change it, and then be done with it. Always make sure you know when to say give up. Good. It's all good. And I've realised my cameras went off the clock because I've not had anything on, so that's... Okay. I wonder when that... Who knows? There we go. Centralised again. Now my mic's back to facing me. But yeah, no, it's look at me. It's all good. Glad I can share some form of knowledge that I may have. I mean, there's tons of people who obviously knows these things better and can put these things into better practice. But if it helps someone else, it's all good. Oh. I am now parched, however. So I'll probably leave it here for this evening. Yes, You take care as well, Firewall, and sees everyone later. Good night and goodbye. Bye.